So, next day. That came out good. Bit of a fail on this part. Looks like I'll actually have to cut a bit higher. The wood's just not stable enough in there. So, probably looks like it gets a bit more solid up in here. This is just too far gone to actually hold anything. I think the same with this one too. Gonna have to, I might get away with cutting it just below the hole there. So we'll recut this, cut a longer piece to glue in there, and try again. This one I'll clean up in sand. We'll glue that to the base. Dowel, glue, clamp. Repeat. Yeah, unfortunate, but it'd be nice if that had turned out. We've got to hit a bit further, lose another day, but yeah, it's just where it was on that side. It was none of the house, and those parts were close, not really touching the ground, but pretty damn close. Just soaked a bit of moisture. That's why they're so gone, but it is what it is. So yeah, work on that, get that fixed. I think slow day to day. Get what we can get done. So we tinkered around with the footrest. This is our template we worked with. Carbon based off the pictures I had. Pretty hard to work out depth in that. I know it does stick out a little past the actual seat edge here. This is what we came up with, and that just rounded the edge off a bit, kept it fairly basic on this one. That just kind of fits in there. You can see that very well. I have to wait maybe until we needs to be notched in a little further, but we did not too bad with that. So we just cut it down to thickness with the table saw. Just ran it through sideways there, and worked out pretty well. Rustic. So it's not perfect, but again, don't think you need to be exactly perfect on something like this. So yeah, tomorrow will be it for the day, but I'll carry on this one tomorrow. Reason I'm not doing the other one is trying to use that as the template, because these are the two front ones, so let's keep these. So I'll copy off this one, get the holes out for this one, and then once I've cut this one and made the holes where I'm happy with, then I'll cut the end off that one, the rotten part, and graft a piece on there. But yeah, slowly getting there. Slowly. I'm still waiting for my shellac to come. Hoping that's close by the end of the week. Because yeah, I can start sealing this one. Well, I should have all the pieces ready to actually seal with that by then. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, next day we've cleaned up some of it. We've taken the clamps off. That's a way better look at it now that it's got the footrest in as well. Haven't screwed or glued it yet, so I'll do that today. Then we will cut this guy. It came out way better, way stronger. Wood's way more solid up there. So yeah, I just traced around that existing one. Once I've cut out this one, then I can, yes, I just traced around that one. Once I've cut this out and shaped it, I'll cut this, decide where to cut it the same spot almost above. Because it is pretty punky. You see it more from this side. punky up to there, some of them cut up there. I might as well cut it just above the hole, and I can re-drill the hole. I won't have to plug it on the outside there. So, but no, that joined up pretty well. Yeah, if you are wondering, that's Western Red Oak, North American, of course, with the English. So here's a slight difference. Slight difference there, but like I say, I'll just go with that's oak. Oak is oak. I've got the plywood for the seat. Mark that out. Cut that out too. Just see that how that sits on there. We're almost there with the wood pieces. Got to still steam bend that piece. I was looking at wood yesterday. Oh, wood is so expensive these days. So yeah, we'll just see what we can find. Might just have to be the cheapest. Might dig around here and see what I've got. I don't think I really have anything that's probably going to be last very long with the steam and stuff, but I mean, if it lasts long enough to do this one piece, I'll be happy with that. I cut out another piece for here. I've got to make another one to fit down on the lower one to go across. This one goes on the upper one here on the other side. It's got a bit of shit in it. So yeah, we'll get on with that. And yeah, cut that, glue it. See if I can shape the other piece. I'm actually just using it as a prop right now. This is the piece I cut. Just using it to prop up the seat right now. But let's get into it. Okay, so I've been working on the leg of just pulled out the hole there into the new hole. That's pretty much it for that one, I think. Might start working on this piece. I've got to make one of these guys out of this. So I figured just use that because that's about the same size as those. So they don't have a lathe to turn these down on. Just try and get these centered and drill into the end here. I've left it a lot longer than I need, so I can cut down. I'll just have to cut around in here to get rid of the outer piece to detach it from there. But that's the best way I think I can do that. To get it down like that way, and yeah, just leave it a lot on each end. So I can cut it down to the length I need. We'll see how that goes. So that came out not too bad. Came out just slightly smaller, but that's not a problem. At least it still sits in there. I can still get a screw in the end. So I only drill in a little bit with the screw in the end of, the drill in the end of this. Then once this gets in, maybe to about that depth, pull this out, and then just follow in so we don't. So now I can cut this down. We shouldn't have that hole in there. We should be able to screw the screw into there. So we'll just cut it down to where we need. And that this has to be shaped and kind of have a little grooved edge put on 3 sides. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. A little bit more work to it, but it's roughed out pretty good. I'll cut this one down, cut these ends down to where we need them now. That should be it. That worked out pretty well. Or backwards way to kind of do it. If you don't have a lathe, that's maybe an option for you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to tidy up everything for the day. Got this other leg glued up. Put some slight grooves in there, best we could. In some ways it's come out looking like the kind of worn 100-year one. So I think I'm okay with that. Seats all cut. Just in there right now. So It's actually starting to look like something. I think tomorrow should we do, might be able to start putting these legs together. Then that's about it. I have to wait for the our shellac to come. Oh, actually I can start working on that steam box actually. Start doing that. Putting it together. Hopefully another week or so, I think. Actually I've got to just wire brush up these other middle parts here. Just clean those up. Yeah. So I might as well do that tomorrow. A bit of clean up here and there. And yeah, shouldn't be too far away from going back together. It's looking pretty nice. So pretty happy how the chair turned out. Did pretty good guesswork on making the new parts. Seems to look functional. And that, yeah. I'm interested to see how the shellac colours this. I mean, it's non-coloured shellac, but how it actually, once it seals on there, and would always change its colour. So, see how that turns out. Anyway, we'll catch you tomorrow. So I was just reading up, one more thing I was going to do today. Here, I was reading up just like how to age the wood a bit. And they offered up using baking soda. So I put about 2.5 teaspoons in here. So made it fairly strong. I really soaked this one, which came out a little bit greenish. So if I just put a light coat on, I might be able to get it more like that. You can see it. Darkens it up a bit, just to bring it down to this the older stuff. So I'm going to do maybe a couple of pieces tonight and just see how it comes out, how it looks in the morning. So we'll wet it down. This is what I put it in. So I put 2.5 teaspoons in a glass of water here, and we'll just see how it goes. So what it does, it changes the tannins in the wood. Depending on how many the concentration of tannins in the wood is how much it really changes it. So yeah, do a few pieces and just see how it comes out in the morning. Alright, next day. That baking soda solution. This one is actually one I sanded, so it kind of look like this, that greenish tinge, but it can sand off. Kind of leave looking quite a lot darker and a lot older compared to our, let's get a new piece. So I mean, you can see the difference. It does darken it down quite a bit, but you can control the strength. I mean, you bring it down, I mean, you wouldn't have to make it as strong as I did. Again, I put 2.5 teaspoons in this thing, this cup, so made it quite strong. And it does depend on the wood, which tannins it has in it. So this one I think has quite a heavy concentrate of tannins in it. The way it comes out, tannins turn it kind of greenish. And that, like I say, it kind of does sand out. Can sand it out. It still remains to be seen what the actual shellac does to it as well when it reacts to this. So we'll try one of these pieces I've done offcuts. See what it does to that. But again, that's that's the new sort of cross bracing I cut for the lower parts. Again, that was the same colour as the new. It's come down quite good. Still doesn't look like the original, but at least it darkens it up. It helps it look a little bit more natural. I actually took out this piece again yesterday, just so I could clean this up a little bit and redo this step here. That one shows you can probably see the greenish in it, but a lot darker. So we'll give that a light sand again. Put that back in place. Today we're just cutting out, just going to probably do a light sand over the stuff that I did the baking soda on, and then just cut out this piece that we glued yesterday, drill the holes, and that'll be ready to go. Some more baking soda on here to tidy up the rest of this. Yeah, pretty basic day. I've ordered a steamer, so I just got to find the wood for the to make a steam box out of. Get that together. Well, actually, also I bought had to make another pin like this. It goes into these other pieces. The other side have the holes and they lock in, part of the whole mechanism that lock the legs. So I bought another piece of 1/4 inch steel. Just bent it yesterday, so I've just got to cut that as well. Top there, it's pretty easy. Just whacked it in the vise and bent it over. So that was pretty easy. Little things. Yeah, just tidy up this. I'm just going to wait for some parts to come in. We can finish. There's the seat as well. I did the same thing. Took it down. I can sort of show you against the stuff we cut it out of. Dulls it down quite a bit. So yeah, we'll see what the finished product looks like at the end. And that. So yeah, we'll cut this. Show you what that looks like. I think you already see it there. But yeah. So I've just mixed up, finished off my day, did a bit of clean up, laid everything out. And if this does look different, the other camera crapped itself, so I just swapped it out. This other one. So yeah, finish up today. I just mixed up my shellac for tomorrow. We went with lemon shellac flakes, which is apparently a traditional colour for this age of Victorian furniture. They called for 1 litre of methylated spirits or denatured alcohol with pretty much this whole bag for 250 grams. So I just broke it down to what I needed. We went with the Everclear 95% alcohol. Just doesn't have all the chemicals and crap in it. A little bit easier to work with. You don't get that sticky kindness when you do the recoats. And that a little bit smoother with the application. We just ground up the shellac in a coffee grinder and that, and yeah, we'll just let it dissolve. Got the whole lot to dissolve everything. You don't have to put it in a coffee grinder. You can just put the flakes, shellac flakes, into the jar if you want with your whatever you use, methylated, denatured alcohol, or Everclear. I got this stuff down in the States, a little easier. You can get it in Canada. Couldn't find BC here. Could only find the 150 proof or 75%, so that was any good to me. So managed to find this yesterday down in Montana. So cool, got that. Yeah, don't know how long. Usually it's overnight. That's why I wanted to do it now. But I'll just keep on coming out, giving it a bit of a mix around to let it, make sure it dissolves. And then once pretty much, I think all these granules, and or if you say if you don't grind it up and it's just flakes, as long as they have all dissolved, you should be good to go. So hopefully that's all good to go tomorrow, and we can carry on. But yeah, that's it for today. We'll catch you tomorrow.